I'm only hear you and I don't see you. It's okay?
Yeah, the camera is not on in this tool, so you can only hear me.
Ah, okay. Okay.
It's
That's
another
all.
tool. This tool doesn't really have camera built in.
Okay. Now I understand. Okay.
Okay. I have another question mark from Isaac.
Yes.
Yes,
Hi.
oh, it's very noisy. I don't really see a question, so what's your question?
What about question? Now I don't have really questions.
All right, so you don't have any questions at this point?
Yes, no.
All right,
No, at this point I don't have questions.
Okay. Okay, let me go back to the documents. Let's see. Here it is. All right, let me open everything so when we start working with the documents, you'll see them in front of you. All right, so we're going to start with reviewing your questions. But before we start talking about our project, I want to spend a few seconds introducing myself and introducing project to you and trying to explain why these sessions are so important. I think that Michael already introduced me during previous session, but I want to take a few seconds to do it officially. So my name is Yana Measure, and I will be teaching this study project. We're going to meet every Thursday at this time. It's 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I'm not sure what time zones you are, but again, our time zone listed as a 5 p.m. class. We're going to begin meeting every Thursday at that time. Sometimes you might get a note from Michael about the schedule change or about cancellation of the class, because I'm the only person who is teaching this class, and sometimes I have appointments, sometimes I have doctor visits. It doesn't happen very often, but just in case, please make sure that you listen to the updates to the upcoming schedule. I usually reschedule based on availability of all the students, convenience, times for everybody. So we'll try to stick with the schedule. But just in case and things happen, we need to reschedule. Sometimes I take Michael's spot and sometimes Michael takes my spot. So there might be a slight changes in the schedule. So be prepared to listen for the updates. I've been teaching QA for quite some time. I've been in QA since 1996. And I've been teaching QA discipline for the last 5-6 years. I've also been working with the interns for the last 10 years. So I've been doing a lot of different types of QA activities, worked in different types of companies, big, small, different types of structures of QA teams. So I have fairly extensive experience in QA field. Why is this class so important for everybody? First of all, everything that we learn in this class will appear on your resume. Everything that you do in this class will contribute to your skill set that you will be discussing during interviews. Your resume is going to be built based on what you do for this project. It depends on the students to make sure that they definitely follow our advice, what to do and what kind of topics to explore, but it's also based on the interest that you have. We're going to be reviewing various parts of the application, and we're going to be practicing various types of test activities. But again, it's up to you to go as deep into the topic or as light if you're not comfortable with that topic. So again, I want to make sure that you understand that things that we're going to be discussing during this project are not the only things that might appear on your resume. But the skeleton of your resume will be built based on what you learn and how you practice concepts in this class. So that's kind of a preview of what's going to be happening in this class, kind of high-level preview, but I want to make sure that everybody understands the importance of this class. Your resume is going to be built based on your activities in this class. Your interview will be based on what's in your resume, and your resume again being built based on your activities in the class. This is a real-life project. This is a real-life application. We're going to be going over different areas of the application. I will highlight areas for you that are important. I will bring your attention to the areas that are popular, that are in demand, that are needed. But again, it's up to you how much you want to learn about each topic. Do you have any questions about what I just described? No questions. All right, so this is how we're going to do it. I will, because you have access to the previously recorded sessions, I will not be, at least I will try not to repeat myself. There are going to be a few things that, again, I want to focus your attention on that I might repeat, but I'm planning to base class on your questions. So I'm expecting you to come to class prepared with the questions to discuss about specific topics or about specific areas. Homework. You do homework assignments based on the area that we discussed during the session. You have email where you can send homework. What will not happen, review of your homework. We are actually treating these assignments as work assignments. We still call it homework assignments simply because it's in a format of study project. But it is a real kind of work situation, so I will be your QA lead, QA manager, and I will be giving you assignments. So you should come to every class with a list of questions that you want to discuss. For example, I cannot complete this particular assignment because I was stuck here, here, and here. Can you please review this particular test case because I'm not sure what kind of expected result I need to receive. Or I was testing this and this and this, and I tried to document information and it doesn't fit into the format that I put together. Very specific type of questions. What we don't want to have, questions like, I don't know how to do it. No assignment is going to be too complicated or too difficult for you to complete. We know that if you listen to the class topics, if you practice, you will be able to complete those assignments. And we know you should have questions. So again, this class is built on the concept that you will be participating in the class. I'm talking for 15-20 minutes right now only because I want to make sure that you understand how it's actually structured. All right, so do you understand what's going to appear, what kind of information will appear on your resume and what to expect from this class? Raise your hand and I will make sure that everybody can hear you. All right. Chitra, right?
Yes.
Yes, what kind of question do you have?
Just in case, like it's a personal question, and in case if we cannot attend the project or something, will you be putting it on the YouTube just like Michael has put that yesterday's session?
I'm not sure that each particular session that we have in this class will be recorded. You have previous recordings, So we expect that you always have access to those recordings and come to class prepared, kind of reviewing those recordings previously. But I believe that Michael plans to record every session. Well, I know that I will be recording sessions. I'm not sure if he will be posting them, but that's usually the case. So you should be able to review session that is recorded during each class.
I mean, it's just a request. If you can put the recording on YouTube, you know, it helps us to go through that again and again, and I know that way a lot of our doubts will be clarified, you know, rather than coming and asking you, and that really helps us a lot in understanding the project also better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have previously recorded sessions. So yeah, you have access to the previous archives. And I believe, I don't want to promise you that, but I believe that sessions that we are going to have in this class are going to be recorded and posted as well. At least
and if we have any questions, we can just post it on Skype and you can answer from there, right?
No, I'm not using Skype. All the questions, please make sure that you ask them during this 1 hour. That's the idea of this 1 hour session, that you ask all the questions that you have during class, because what we learn, and again, this is work situation, when you ask questions, if you have a question, it means that somebody else will definitely have similar type of concern, a similar type of question. So it's very useful for everybody to hear anything that you are not clear about. So whatever questions you have, I again expect you to come to class prepared with those questions. And this is what the class is going to be about. You will be encouraged to ask questions. With one exception, if you didn't listen to the previous session, if you come to class unprepared and going to ask questions that were covered in the previous session, that's where you're going to be in trouble. But everything that, again, we want to discuss valid topics. We don't want to waste our time. We want to discuss something that makes sense for this session. So again, being prepared for this 1 hour session is very, very important.
Okay. Thank you, Yana.
Sure. Other questions? All right. I want to know how many of you had the chance to listen into this first session from the previous recordings. So I'm unmuting you, and oops, and I cannot do that. How come? I have to do it one by one. I thought I would be able to. Now it's me trying to learn this new software. How come I cannot unmute all of you? All right, I'll do it one by one. So I guess I will have to, okay, that's not that many people. So tell me who did not listen to session number 1 from the previous recordings.
Me. I did not.
Okay, one,
I didn't.
What, 2 people? Okay, 2 people.
Yes.
All right, so everybody else had the chance to listen in. All right, good. Then let's review the first document. The first document that we have, by the way, I unmuted you all, so I'm ready to hear your questions. I'm going to go to application information document, and I'm going to review that document, make sure that I get all the questions answered. I'm repeating my click one more time. It's under application information link, project rules, application information. Everybody sees it? Sorry, I got sore throat and I'm coughing, so I'm sorry if it's very loud. I'll try to be as quiet as I can. All right, so application information, it's the link under session 1 under project rules. Here's this document. So let me tell you a little bit about how we're going to organize things. In a few minutes, I'm going to tell you about company, about project, but this document contains all information that you need to start working with the application. I want you to start working with the application right away, but it's very important that you follow rules outlined in this document. So are there any questions about this document and how to use it? Because again, I'm assuming that only 2 people did not have a chance to listen to the first session, so all of you know what this document is about. Any questions about this document? All right, no questions. So my question to you, what is the URL that you need to use to access application? Raise your
Join
hand.
Mountain View.
One more time.
Join Mountain View.
So http www.slickpeak.com/join/Mountain View. Can you use www.slickpeak.com URL?
No. No.
No. Thank you very much. Now, again, this is something that I'm going to explain to you for a few seconds. I muted you, so just keep that in mind, because it's extremely important. This URL is not a test environment. This URL is simply the gateway into the production environment. But by entering this URL, you're telling SlickPeak application that you are conducting testing service. You are not doing any production type activities. Now question, does everybody understand what production environment, production servers are? Okay, any questions what production environment
Not everyone.
is? All right. What kind of environment is being used when you try to buy something on Amazon? When you're trying to buy something on Amazon, where do you go? Where does your request go? In kind of business terms. I do not expect you to give me technical details about servers and structure of the databases. I'm simply asking you, where do you think your request goes once you click buy on Amazon.com website?
To database.
Okay. So what does this database contain?
All the information.
Database contains information. Okay. What kind of, just 1 second guys, Michael walked in, so I'm gonna ask him, how can I unmute everybody altogether?
You can unmute
only individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a troubling. All right, so what kind of information? Guys, I do not have you muted, so can you please make sure that there is no noise on the background, because I want to make sure that we have a conversation right now. Somebody is making a lot of noise. Some kind of a bubbling noise. I'll give you a few seconds to get your environment together because I want to have a conversation with you. That's why I muted all of you. All right, so you put a request, click buy button on Amazon.com, and the request goes, I'll take a database. What does this database contain? What kind of information does it contain?
Information about the product and what we are buying.
Okay, so I'm a tester. I'm working for Amazon.com, and I'm testing adding a new product functionality. I create this new product, and I'm adding it to the database. Will that information end up in the same database that you access when you buy products?
Yana, can you repeat the question? I'm having a hard time listening to you. There's a lot of disturbance going on.
Yeah, guys, can you, I'm gonna mute you again, and then I'm gonna unmute only people who raised hand to answer. Okay, I muted you all. Now, my question is, you're a tester who works for Amazon. You are testing a new feature, adding a new product. So to test this feature, you will need to create a new product. So you are a tester testing, adding new product, working for Amazon. You're adding a new product into the database. Will that product end next to the product that you're trying to buy as a customer from Amazon.com? Will these two products be sitting back to back in the database, or they will be in different places? Chitra, I saw your hand, so I unmuted you. Chitra?
Yeah. I just requested you to repeat the question.
Oh,
that's all.
okay.
That's why.
Okay.
That's why I
Okay.
raised my hand.
Okay. So anybody who can answer the question, will products that, okay, two people, all right, Evgeny. So Evgeny,
Yes.
what do you think?
Hi.
Will these products sit next to each other, the one that the tester created and the one that you're trying to buy as a customer? Will they be in the same
No,
place?
it's not the same project. It's not the same product. There is one that in database that we should check if it's the same one. So they need two products.
Two products. Not
Yeah.
really. It's the same product. It's the same Amazon.com e-commerce product.
But one is request and one is the product in the database.
Both of them products in the database. When you test add a new product feature, you add a new product. When you are buying a product, you are buying a product that is in the database. So both of those actions are doing the same thing. They are going to the database, and one is adding, another one is requesting. So there are going to be two products, but do they appear in the same place, in the same database? One is being done by the tester, another is being done by the customer. What do you guys think? Thomas. So what do you think?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay. Is it, I mean, is the one the tester put in there, is that in the production? Is it in production or no? Because if it's not in production, then it won't show up, correct?
Well, do you want products that testers use to appear in the environment that customers are using?
No. So it actually, I don't think
No.
the customer would see it because it's not live. It's not in production on the production server.
Okay.
Right.
So the most important thing for you to understand, when you have live customers, they are using live environment. So you want to give customers good products, good information. If you allow testers in the same environment, testers are going to create a lot of test data, which you probably should not be able to buy. That's the example with the Amazon.com. When you allow testers, Amazon.com testers, to use the same environment that real customers access, you end up with a mess. Customers will see products that were created by testers, and this is not what you want. So there are usually at least two environments. One, production, which is real-life production environment. This is where actual transactions happen. This is live application, live code, live environment, which is also called production environment. And then there is test environment. This is testers' playground. This is where testers can test. They can change, they can add, they can remove, they can delete. It's for their purposes. Are you guys clear on that concept? When you are having production environment, it's live environment. It's where actual live transactions that are happening. And then there is test environment, where testers can do whatever they want to do.
But it's identical to the production environment,
It
right?
depends. That's actually a good question. Sometimes it's identical environment, sometimes it's not. So let's discuss it. Amazon.com. How expensive do you think environment for Amazon.com application?
How expensive?
Yeah, how expensive?
It'd be probably millions of dollars to create that environment, wouldn't it be?
You're absolutely right. Production environment is usually extremely expensive because it needs to contain all the customer data, all the products. It needs to have robust hardware, robust software. It's very, very expensive. Now, next question. Do you really want to invest the same amount of money into test environment that's only going to be used for test purposes?
No.
Probably no. Good thinking. So you're absolutely right. Company, especially smaller companies, and this is probably the situation that all of you will be facing when you're going to be working in smaller companies, startups in many cases, try to invest all their resources into their production environment to make it customer. They still need test environment, but it's not going to be as big, as expensive, as robust as their production environment. So usually you can do whatever you want to do in your test environment. That's usually a good setup, and that's how usually things are done. But in some cases, companies do not really have money for test environment. So they have to compromise. They have to partition their environment, or they have to create rules that allow customers, real life customers, and testers to share the same environment. So this situation that we have with the SlickPick is exactly what I just described. We are sharing our application with the real life customers. So that's the reason I spent a little bit of time on this topic, because it's extremely important that you understand. You will be coming to similar situations on your real life projects as well. You might be sharing your environment, not between real customers and QA team, but maybe between two QA teams, maybe between developers and QA, maybe between support and QA. You never know what your environment is going to be and how you're going to be using this environment. So I want to make sure that you understand. When you start testing, the first thing that you need to find out, what kind of environment do you have? Who do you share it with? What you can and what you cannot do in your environment. That's kind of a general statement. Now, I'm going to mute you again, and I'm going to talk a little bit about SlickPick's environment. Make sure that you understand that part. We are sharing our SlickPick environment, our test group, you guys, and real customers. So because of that, we have to be extremely careful about how we do that. So that URL allows us to identify ourselves as testers. So when you access this application, you put slickpick.com/join/Mountain View. That's going to tell people who monitor SlickPick that you are coming and using this application as testers. Are we all clear on that? Raise your hand if you still have questions about it. All right. I'm assuming that since nobody raised their hand, you're all clear on that. Now you understand the situation. There are a few other things that we need to be careful about. Everything else, we can do whatever we need to do for our testing purposes. First of all, to make things easier for you, I already created a few accounts for you. So when you start using application, you're going to have 3 accounts that are already created for you. Please make sure that you are not changing passwords. These are kind of generic accounts, and these are their passwords. California Earth Studio, California Mars Studio, California Venus Studio, and they all have password as project. There are different types of account, and we're going to discuss it in a second. This is where I'm going to be asking you questions about what you heard from the previous recording. And also, I'm going to ask you questions about how well you understand functionality of the OpenID for the third login. But you're welcome to use those logins as testers for testing purposes. If you like this application and you want to become a customer of SlickPeek, you're welcome to do everything that a real customer will do. Create an account, create your own password. This is going to be your own personal SlickPeek's account. But for testing purposes, please stay within these 3 accounts. You can share them, and you will be sharing it. And this is, again, something that is fairly common. And in many cases, you're forced to share your account information within the QA team. So you're going to learn how sharing works, what kind of limitations you have, what things you cannot really test and execute. Again, this is fairly typical structure of your QA environment. Submit for editing feature. This is a feature that allows company to earn money. So I want to make sure that you understand. If you click on this Submit for Editing button, if you request this service, you are not acting as a tester anymore. You are acting as a customer. So you will be requested to pay money. I'm warning you that's the situation because, again, this is a small startup. They are making name for themselves and they need to earn money, and this is one of the ways they earn money. Please do not modify account information. Again, I already showed you login and password. If we will be working with the different types of tests for the account setup, for different technologies, including OpenID, and we will be discussing how to approach that task later on. But for now, please use the accounts that are defined here. You will be posting pictures. So I want to make sure that when you post pictures, especially if those pictures are public and everybody can see them, those are not sample picture. Because again, I just explained the concept of us sharing environment with the real customers. So everything that you post as a tester and everything that is public will be presented to every single user of SlickPeek. Use real pictures, use nice pictures, no inappropriate content, please. On the other hand, if you want to test something within the private setup, you're welcome to do that. And again, you're going to learn more about all the features of SlickPeek, and you will understand what I'm talking about. There's additional information here that you will need later on. There are modules here, and there is information about backtracking too. Again, for now, just keep that in mind. This is kind of a place where all the information regarding this project is stored. If you forgot something, forgot your login password for the project, you can go there. When I tell you to go look at Bugzilla, you're going to go look at Bugzilla. All right. Any questions about this document? Alexei.
Yeah, do we have to have the same document, or we're just gonna use yours?
What do you mean?
Do we need to create the same document in Excel?
No, this is your document to use. I posted this document for you to use.
Ah, we're gonna share it.
It's the same document for everybody. It's just information.
Okay.
Everything that I post is for you to use as information. This is just information. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can download it. Okay. Chitra?
Yana, what account will we be using when we log into SlickPeek?
All 3 accounts. Yes, you can use either one of these accounts. Yeah, it's for you to use, and you will be sharing it. Yes.
Okay. And I mean, if one of my colleagues may be using a Pro Enhanced, and maybe I may be using a Pro Basic.
You will use the appropriate account for your type of testing. You will use all 3 of them. You will practice using all 3 of them. Yes, you will need all 3 of them. There is a reason why I created 3 different ones, because you will need it for testing.
Okay, okay, Anna, thank you.
Any other questions? Chitra, you had another question?
No, that's all.
Another hand appeared, that's why. Usman, did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes,
Usman?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there any special tool we are going to use to test the application?
No, it's going to be black box testing only. But again, you're welcome to use any tools that you feel appropriate for testing this application. I do not want to limit you. Michael will be talking to you about a lot of different tools that you can use to test. And I will give you a little bit of the overview of different things. You will be introduced to different techniques. And yes, you're welcome to find out what kind of tools to use and how to use them, but it's on your own. It's kind of your own assignment, your own interest.
Like Selenium and these kind of tools work in the same way that we're going to work in the project?
Welcome to use it if you want to. But we are not going to be teaching you how to use it in general, and we are not going to be teaching you how to use it for this project. But you are welcome to apply knowledge that you learn by yourself to this project. That's what this project is here for. You're welcome to use it for whatever practice activities that you want.
But the technique will be same, right?
Well, automated testing is too complicated to cover in this online session, so I cannot tell you yes or no because I have no idea what kind of technique you're talking about.
All right. Thank you.
Dmitry?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes.
I can see on a website in quick links plugins for Lightroom, iPhone and Android application. Can we use them too to test?
Where do you see?
I log in on slickpick.com, join Mountain View.
Okay.
And on the left side of website, I can see quick links. And there are get Lightroom 3 plugin, get SlickPick iPhone application.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about these features. Yeah, we will be talking about these features, and you will be able to test those features as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, I have Chitra, Dmitry, and somehow hands did not disappear.
No, you're not, I don't have any question.
Okay, anybody else has any questions? I guess I didn't get the hand disappear. All right, so all the hands are gone. I'm assuming that everybody is clear about URL, login information, and what not to use. All right, very good. Now we're going to proceed with what to use. And before we jump into that, I want to tell you a little bit about the company. So you have company overview here. This is the link to the company overview. You all had a chance to read it. You all had a chance to listen into what I had to say. So again, what kind of questions, if any, you have about company itself? Any questions? Anything that you want to find out? I don't really have a lot of information about the company because, again, this is our partner company, so I'm not the employee, so I will not know a lot of, for example, financial details, but I know enough to tell you in general what this company is about. So any questions, anything that was left unclear for you based on what you learned from the information that you already have? If I ask you what is the business model of this company, how this company makes money, what will you say? How does this company make money? What is their business model? No hands. Come on, guys, you listen to the company story, and that's a typical question. And actually, you just said it a few minutes back. All right. Alexei, how does the company make money? Can you tell us?
You have to pay for the premium account.
All right. So for premium accounts, and what else? How else do they earn their revenue?
Just one clue. That's it.
I just talked about it a few seconds
Problem commercial, I don't know.
Advertisement, yeah, but that's not the model.
Advertisement.
How do you call a model, business model, the company that earns money for services? Okay, let me see. Let me point you in the right direction. I'm looking for company story. And you have this information, guys, in the company story. What is SaaS? All right, Thomas, what's SaaS?
They software as a service. They provide software as a service, and that's how they make their revenue.
Absolutely, software as a service. So they have software as a service features, and I just talked about those features. So what are those features? One of those features is accounts, actually paid accounts, premium accounts for which they charge monthly fee. Another thing, they have per service picture enhancement service, the one that I suggested you do not touch. And another thing that they have, extra storage, the pictures, which is also part of the account, premium account service. So those are SaaS features. And I really need you guys to be prepared with, answering the question. This is a very typical question during interview. Please tell us about the company. Please tell us about the business model of your company. How does this company make money? And with SlickPeek, it's very clear about how they pay money. They ask for subscription fee for premium accounts. They ask for additional fees for the services. Storage is bigger than extra fees for extra storage amounts. So all those things make this application that's using SaaS features. All right. Any other questions about company story? All right. Dmitro?
Yes. What's the reason to pay money to SlickPeek if you can use, for example, Picasa from Google for free? And
all right. This is the question that I'm going to ask you. If you listen to the previous recorded session, you will tell me what's the advantage of SlickPeek. So what's the advantage of SlickPeek compared to Picasa? Anybody?
Typically, when you have a software as a service and it's free, the ones that you pay for, you get more features. You're allowed to do more once you pay for it. And when you use just the free version, like you might get 5 things you can do to a picture, and you won't get storage. But if you have, once you pay, you might get 20 things you can do to a picture, and then also get so much megabytes or gigabytes of storage. That's how a business model would work for software as a service.
You're absolutely right. So SlickPeek is actually targets professional photographers. They absolutely need more storage. So they are providing extra services in the area of storage.
It's like Flickr and Picnic that Google bought. Yeah. Google bought Picnic. Yahoo has Flickr. Same thing.
And you are absolutely welcome to use anything that's on the market that is available to general public. But again, keep in mind that SlickPeek, again, if you read application story and company story, you know that they originally wanted to concentrate on professional photographers, and professional photographers have very specific requests. So professional photographers are not using Picasa. Professional photographers, sometimes they're forced to use existing applications simply because of their marketing pressure. But they have very specific requests. And SlickPeek started as an application for professional photographers only. So later on it was developed into more kind of open to the public type of software. But as a general public, yeah, you have a lot of choices. You have Picasa, you have Kodak, you have Nikon applications, you have quite a few other ones. Your job as a tester and as a person who's going to be interviewed on all those questions to learn about competitors. You need to make sure that you're comfortable with competitor applications so you can talk intelligently about features that are different in SlickPeek. Better or worse, it doesn't really matter as long as you express your professional, not personal, but professional opinion about features in SlickPeek and compare them to features in competitors. All right, I'm moving into a project story. Any questions about application itself? I know that you didn't have a chance to play with it on the level that you will be comfortable with this application in 10 sessions in 10 weeks, but you did listen to the application story. So any questions about it? Anything that is still not clear? And again, I understand that some of the features are not 100% clear for you, but I want to make sure that you understand that the format in which you will have to deliver this information is clear for you. Any questions? Anything? All right, no question. Then I'm going to ask a few questions to make sure that everybody understands. What are the major features of this application? What is their selling points? Anybody? I'm going to start calling the names.
No.
How about Punita? Punita, can you tell me what are the major features of this application? Punita? All right. How about Evgeny? Usman. All right. Usman. All right. So what are the major features of this application?
This picture offers unlimited photo storage and unlimited album collection and slideshow.
I wouldn't say unlimited. Is it unlimited? Not sure about that, but ample. Let's put it this. So storage, yeah, storage is important. And
Yes.
what else?
And they provide privacy.
Yes.
Security features, right?
Security.
Yeah, it has a very elaborate, well, elaborate is a good word to describe it. In my opinion, it's very complicated and sometimes convoluted system of security. But yes, you're right, very complicated and elaborate system of security. It's important for professional photographers and it's important for anybody. All right, what else?
That's all I know.
Okay, that's good enough. Anybody else who can tell me what are the major features of this application?
Oh, also you can get custom URL for your website.
All right, so the ease of access, all right.
Then social media and email sharing.
Yeah, that actually becomes more and more important these days. It's not a photo sharing application anymore. It's more photo sharing using your social media application. So it's not just photos, it's how you share them. So yeah, you're absolutely right. In general, that's what it is. Next question. Somebody mentioned that why not use Picasa? And that's a very valid question. So what about competitors? Why people will want to use SlickPeek? What makes this application different from other websites? Again, very typical question during interviews. So you told me you worked on this application for a while. Tell me, what makes this application different? You told me about these major features, but tell me, what makes this application different? So, what makes this application different?
Could be more robust than its competitors. I mean, I haven't done a side-by-side comparison, but I imagine that it is.
In what areas? You have to say in what areas, because again, big companies will probably able to provide a lot of fairly good service. So Picasa and Kodak and Nikon applications, they're big players in the market. So how can SlickPeek compete? What makes SlickPeek different? In what areas they're more robust? All right, I'll leave it with you. This is something that you will have to figure out on your own while you test.
Okay.
But keep in mind that this is something, again, that is very typical during interviews. And again, you don't have to say, you know, this feature is so great, it's much better than in another application. But you have to explain what makes this application unique. Because if you cannot say that, it means that you really didn't test it enough. Because if you put an effort into testing something, you will learn about uniqueness of the application. All right, so what's the target audience of this application?
Professional photographers.
Well, that's the original focus. What about now?
Anybody who taking pictures and want to share them.
They're getting on
Yes.
the social networking market, mobile applications market, right? So they're changing their target audience. Again, something that you want to say during interviews because it shows that you understand dynamic. It also shows that you understand where application is going, what kind of technology it's using, mobile application, integration with the social networking side. You want to say those words because they're hot. Everybody wants to have experts on their team in how to test applications that are integrated with the social networking sites. Everybody wants to have somebody on the team who knows how to test mobile applications. So you have to mention those things. All right. I think we pretty much covered everything that I wanted to cover myself. So any other topics that we didn't cover today? Any, again, questions, outstanding questions that you still have? All right. Nobody has any questions. All right. So I'm assuming that you got all the information that you need from this session. I want to make sure that you understand the format of our session. So please make sure that next class, first of all, I need you to prepare your own company and project story. You have all the facts and all the information that you need. You have examples here in session 1. You also listen to my presentation of the company and the project. Now it's pretty much you saying the same things about the company and about the application. You're going to work on these 2 items throughout the class, but I want you to have a draft, at least a draft. Each story is going to be unique. It's going to show your personality. It's going to show your interests. Some of you will concentrate on social networking features, others on the target audience. Some will be interested more in technology and web components. Others will be interested in environment. So it's going to be your story, your unique story. But you have all the information that you have for that, and I need you to at least get a draft ready. And please, for next class, listen to the next session. You have it again recorded and come to class prepared to discuss those things. All right. Thank you very much. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to disconnect. Bye-bye. Oh, I have questions now. All right, Chitra and Evgeny. All right. Chitra.
Yana, you want to, yes, Yana, you want to write about the particular feature from the same company, what we're discussing now?
No, I want you to write a company story and I want you to write application story. This is going to be a draft of these 2 documents because this is going to be a preparation for your interview and preparation for your resume.
Okay, my question is should it be about SlickPeek or?
Yes, it's
like,
about, of course, SlickPeek. Of course,
okay,
about SlickPick.
Because in your previous recorded one, you were saying like compare it with Picasa and Shutterfly and all.
Yes,
so
it's going to be part. It's going to be part of your application story, comparing it with other applications on the same in the same market niche.
Okay. Okay. And is there any
about SlickPick?
Okay. Is there anything? I mean, we can pick any feature that we want, right?
No, you need all the features. You need an overview. You have examples. And you read those examples, you understand what those things written in the application store and company store is. And then you sit down and based on this information, you write your own version of this document.
Okay. Thank you,
right.
Thank you.
Sure. Evgeny, you had a question?
Yes, I don't really understand what do you mean to write my own version.
All right.
Here
you are during interview. I'm asking you, Evgeny, can you please tell me about the company that you worked for? So what you're going to
do? I should tell all the things I know.
Exactly. And now I want you to write down all the things that you know about SlickPick.
So it will be the same that in the document.
It's going to be the same information, but it's going to be your story, how you're going to present it. You have a sample. You have a sample. So these are typical questions. Tell me about the company that you worked for.
Okay.
Next question, tell me about application. So that's the purpose of this exercise. You write it down, and the next step, you're going to be practicing this verbal version of this information. These are interview questions.
Now I
Preparation for the interview.
About the SlickPick.
Of course. That's what's going to be on your resume, right? SlickPick.
Right, okay.
Yeah. All right. Usman?
I have a question. Under company overview, project overview, there is some blueprint, project URL, web application, these kind of things. What are these?
This is your samples. These are the samples of the application story and the company story. You use those samples, you use the facts in those documents to put together your own story about company and application.
All right.
So again, this is kind of a foundation for the answer to the question, interview question. Tell me about the company that you work for. Tell me about the application that you work on. Samples. All right. Any other questions? All right. I'll see you next Thursday at 5 o'clock. Thank you. Bye-bye.